Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Um, I didn't do my thing correctly. All right, so one thing I want to get started with is thanks for tuning into VA Friday. Hope you guys have a great week. We had a record high temperatures earlier this week. Basically, sweat myself to sleep. It was great. Before we get started, I want to get started with the dad joke real quick. What do you call when your foot falls asleep? Comatose. Comatose. All right, so we'll get started. And one of the things I want to talk about today is something called the amortization schedule. Okay. So let me share my screen real quick. All right, so as we were saying, you might seen this amortization schedule when you're going to closing with your clients. Now, the amortization schedule is a very daunting document that literally lists every single payment and how it affects the loan at every single payment. So what you're seeing here is just a house that was bought for 350. Let's say the rate's at 3.5%. Okay. So what you're seeing here within each payment, there's the interest portion and there's a principal portion. Now the interest and the principal payment always stays the same no matter what. Now within the payment, the interest portion and the principal portion is what changes on a payment scale. So what's happening is that every time the principal portion goes down a little bit, the interest portion goes down slightly and the principal portion of the payment goes up a little bit, as you notice. So after this first payment is made, this interest payment goes down by $1 and this principal portion goes up by $2. Okay. That's on just a single payment. After some time, you'll notice the interest portion will slowly go down as the principal goes up. So it's a balance, right? So how you use it is trying to figure out, like, at one point, what I like to call the half-life of the loan, is basically when both the principal and interest portion actually equal. So I call that the half-life because my nuclear training background, basically. So if we get to the point where these two numbers are equal, which is about here, 123rd payment. So at 123rd payment, or the loan balance being 100 or 268 643, that's when the principal portion starts becoming more than the interest portion. I call that the half-life. That's a really good important mark to figure out if it's really the best time to refinance, because when you refinance, your payment gets lower, and so do all these three things, and the loan starts over again. Also, it kind of tells you, it's an important marker to tell you that you're at a point where your principal portion will continue taking over the loan. So also determine on how much you pay in interest. If you're trying to, like, get to a point where you're not paying as much interest, the best time to figure out to reduce how much interest you're paying is reduce the principal balance, because how much you pay in interest every month is dependent on this principal number. So the quick math is you take your interest rate and divide it by 12. Give me 1 second, which is 12 months. You need to bring up a calculator. Okay. So if we look at the interest rate up to 3.5%, okay, 3.5% interest rate divided by 12 months, because it's an annualized return. And then you multiply that by the remaining principal balance. So the remaining principal balance after the first payment is 348,896.75. Oh, sorry, I did that wrong. So 3.5%, all right, 0.35. This is 3.5% times 12. I keep screwing that up. 0.035 divided by 12. And you multiply that, which is an annual number, 348,896.75. And there you go. You basically have how much interest you're going to be paying for the next following month. So simple qualitative math says if you pay down your principal faster, the less interest you pay. So if you put like a $6,000, principal payment towards your interest, well, you go down $6,000 and you are already ahead, right, for this month. So now you're down here instead of up here trying to make every payment. So I'm going to show you what it looks like if you made one extra payment per month. So if you take the monthly payment, which is this number right here, this 1571, that's up here at the top, 1571, and divided by 12, right? So we'd say $131 per month, right? Which is one mortgage payment per year. You can calculate that, and what's going to happen is it's going to say you're going to pay off your loan about 3 years and 9 months earlier. So with paying $131 extra, you're actually saving about $30,000 in interest, if you can see that here, right? which is a lot just by paying an extra $131 per month, right? So we view the amortization schedule, and if you compare this imbalance and without the payoff and with the payoff, you can notice how fast you're paying off the mortgage. After year one, you're already $2,000 ahead, right? So that's just kind of example of how exponential that could be. And you can always see that the difference in interest payments have changed. It's not a whole lot, but it's something, right? And also the principal portion, obviously, it's $131 higher, but it's an exponential rate after a couple of years. So those are just some thoughts and how to read this and how to guide your clients through the amortization schedule as well. So hopefully that was helpful, and maybe if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys later.